I was 17. The day started like any other day would. I was reading the Bible and praying, and I felt like God told me that He was about to do something really great with my life, and I didn't know what it was. But then I left for class, and then the wreck happened, and I woke up in the hospital. My name is Spradlin. So at first, they didn't really know how long I would be there. They thought roughly like 6 months. I was in a coma at first, and they didn't know if I was gonna live. They said there's a chance, but they told my parents to hurry. Things didn't look good. I've always loved basketball, and I really decided that I wanted to play in college when I was probably 12. And that's when I really started working towards that. At that time, my motivation was like, people would tell me like, oh, you're not good at basketball, you should stick to music. And I wanted to prove those people wrong because I loved basketball and I wanted to make it. I had skull fractures, brain bleeding, torn carotid artery, I broke my eye socket, I broke my face, I broke my jaw, I knocked out 5 teeth, lacerated spleen, I dislocated my elbow, something cut into my ankle and severed 2 tendons and cut into the bone. My jaws were wired shut for like 3 months, and my brain injury was so bad. At first they didn't know if I would live through it, and then I did, and they said I would be severely handicapped from it. But then people started praying, and I got so much better, and like they didn't know if I'd be able to go to college or walk or talk or do anything. My aunt started a Caring Bridge page, and she would post updates on there, and people like all over the world would write on it, and they would say that they were praying for me. Even Tim Tebow, I got a card from him that said like, pray for you. And the Lady Balls, they sent me a signed basketball. Oh, the Grizzlies, Marc Gasol wrote me a note that said, get well soon. Ended up being 6 weeks because people just prayed and things got so much better than they thought it would be. So when I finally got my arm out of my brace, it was like this, like frozen. And I remember just looking at it and being like, how am I ever gonna shoot a basketball again? And then I would start shooting again, but like every shot was an air ball, and it was so hard, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But I just had this feeling the whole time that I would play in college. I felt like that was from God. My motivation totally changed from proving people wrong to making it on a college team to show like God's healing power in my life and like be a testimony to people. When I first got out of the hospital, I was so ready to be out in public again and be like in normal settings. But I had scars all over my face, I had an eye patch. People would stare a lot. It didn't really bother me though, because I knew like what they were looking at wasn't really me. The Bible says, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. And that verse became very real to me at that time. That gave me that security to go out in public and stuff. If people point at you and stare and talk, that's their problem, that's not your problem, unless you let it be your problem. You're still made in the image of God, even if you look different or you have scars or casts and braces, all that, missing teeth, like you're still a human being made in the image of God. Now I'm currently playing at Ouachita Baptist University, where I've been for a year now, so I'll be a sophomore this coming year. When they saw me playing again and how all the glory would go back to God, and that really like helped me push through like all the hard hours. I've always loved singing, like always, and I've always wanted to do it, but I was always too scared. But I was thinking like, I almost died, and life is too short to let the fear of what others think keep you from doing something that you could really love. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for it, but I was terrified. But since then, like God has just really used it. Like people who've heard me sing, kind of the same thing, like seeing me play basketball again, they're like, they see the Lord through all that. I'm so glad that I do it now. So now I'm a music major, vocal, and psychology minor. Music just lifts people's moods. It really does help people recover faster. Well, it's in the Bible, like, David would play for Saul when he was like angry. My neurosurgeon said music was the best thing to help my brain recover at that time. Now I'm really excited to use music therapy, like to help people in the same kinds of situations. Life is full of really hard times, but I think God uses those times to prepare you like to do great things for His glory. You can come out of those times like 2 ways. Like you can be hurt and bitter, and then you like totally lose the ability to do His work, which is maybe the purpose of that time. Or if you put your joy in the Lord and your foundation is really like on Jesus the whole time, you can still have your joy through hard times. It's like joy versus happiness. The common theme of the world today is like find your happiness and do what makes you happy, but happy is an emotion and emotions change all the time. Joy is what you like want to strive for. When hard times come, like happy is not going to get you through that. Joy is, and joy comes from Jesus.